We play for keeps, Cuddy. You ain't heard about the huddle fire with no with D-Lane. We tryna get it off the muscle. Walters caught the pick and ran it back without a tussle. Blow the whistle, coach is time to get back to the huddle.
Welcome to the 510 Huddle. We back again, another week. Raiders 2-0. How you doing, D-Lane?
Doing good, man. I see you feeling great. Your team 2-0. My team 1-1, man. But back to the drawing board. We'll get back to it next week.
I mean, y'all fought hard. We about to dive into that in a second. But you know, my Raiders, we 2-0, feeling good. And I think what's tough about it is what everyone said before the season. Look at this schedule. Look how tough it is out the break. Y'all might start, yep. So, but
I was one of them. I can't lie.
I know you was, but it's okay. We it's just the beginning though. We got 15 more games to go, and a long season ahead of us. But let's dive into that Niner-Eagle game. The Niners, if you're a Niner fan, you're feeling good. 2-0. Start the season off. And these games you're supposed to win. All right, you're a favorite in both games against the Lions and now the Eagles. There's three things that I've seen so far that have led the 49ers to their quick 2-0 start. Number one, their defense. They've been playing lights out. The run game was better this week. The second piece has been Kyle Shanahan. He's been dialing up. This week was different. In NFL, it was uglier. It was a grinded out win, but he dialed it up. And then the last piece has been Deebo Samuel. I mean, he's been the main offensive weapon so far this season, dominating. So I really like what I'm seeing from the Niners in this 2-0 start. I actually picked them to lose because of the Eagles D-line, and it was a close game. But what was your thoughts on the game, D-Line?
Man, I was sitting in coaches' meetings watching this one a little bit. But, yeah, it was a rough day for my Eagles, to punch it in. I think I told you before the show, I'm getting a little bit irritated with some of Sirianni's play calling. He just, for the most part, he's calling screens, bubbles, short routes for the most part. Like Jalen Hurts threw, he threw for 190 and he threw a 90-yard pass. So on 22 other attempts, he only threw for like 99 yards. And most of the passes behind the line of scrimmage on screens and whatnot. I don't believe that's a long time recipe for success. So I definitely got issues with Sirianni and the coaching staff play calling right now, especially on the goal line. I think we had a 4th and 1. He tried to do his edition of the Philly special. It was unsuccessful. I just thought it was a terrible play calling. So we got stuff to work on, man. BG got hurt, Brandon Graham, so that's not good. But like I said, back to the drawing board. We got stuff to work on.
Well, how do you look at your Eagles team as an 8-8 or what would be 8-9 squad, an 8-10 win team, or more of a 6-9 win team? What do you think?
500.
500, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't even go 500 no more, right? Like
you can't. So I was gonna say 8-9.
Yeah, 8-9, 9-8.
Yeah,
something like that.
9-8 is a new 8-8.
Okay.
So I mean, one game above 500, but it won't make a difference.
Hello.
I mean, in the NFC East it will. But I mean, in a bright spot, was there any bright spots you took away from the Eagles game?
Defense, our front seven still getting the job done. I think the Niners, who all know is a running team. I think for the last 3 years, they're top 3, top 5 in rushing as a team. I think they had 38 carries for 117 yards. That's 3.1 a clip. We had 29 carries for 151 yards. That's 5.2 a clip. So the ground game is there. It's working. Jalen Hurts' legs has definitely been an extension of the run game and been helping the run game. But I still need to see more downfield pass and downfield attacks. Devontae only had 2 catches and 7 targets. I think 5 of them was probably like screens or routes that was in the 5 yards. So I need to see more downfield action from Jalen Hurts and Sirianni.
I think that will come as Jalen Hurts gets more comfortable in that offense. But the Niners are a tough team, right? You don't have all day back there, and you guys lost Brooks earlier in the game, right? Inside, so. But I think the Niners, they did what they were supposed to do on the road. These 2 games, they're about to go to a long, hard stretch, kicking off the Packers next Sunday night. One thing that I wouldn't say it's not a concern. I'm just questioning is what's the plan with Trey Lance? Again, he's played 1 football game in 2 years, and so far he's played, this season 3 snaps. So is he going to go into next season with, let's say 40 NFL snaps under his belt, or 50 snaps in 3 years? I just feel they need a plan for him. What would you do? What would you do with Trey Lance? You just try to ride with Jimmy because Jimmy's not losing the game, but the real test haven't came yet with Jimmy.
Yeah, I think I said it, Zay, right here, that this is the real stretch right here. I think before the season started, I said that right when week 3 hits, they got Green Bay, then they got Seattle and Arizona. I got the Niners splitting with everybody in their division, so they possibly could lose both those games. They could possibly win both those games versus Seattle and Arizona. But I believe somewhere in that stretch, Jimmy will struggle somewhere in this 3-game stretch, and then they got a bye week. So possibly Jimmy doesn't struggle too bad where he can make it for the next 3 weeks and get to the bye week, and then we can get the kid in. The kid against Trey Lance versus they coming off the bye week. They got Indianapolis. They play the Colts. So either right before the bye week or right after the bye week. But I see Jimmy G struggling somewhere between these next 3 weeks, and we'll see the kid soon.
And those 3 weeks, what with the Packers, Seahawks, and Cardinals coming up for that 3-game stretch, what do they need to be successful? 2-1, 3-0.
For Jimmy to continue to keep his job.
Yeah, can they be 1-2 and him look, just average in the 2 losses, or does he need to be 2-1?
They can't be 1-2 and Jimmy looks average.
Okay,
he can't look average and they be 1-2.
Because then
maybe he can be average and they go 2-1, but even Jimmy's average is, I don't know. Yeah.
All right, let me give you this scenario. They beat the Packers. They beat the Seahawks on a very close one. They lose to the Cardinals, and it looks ugly for Jimmy going to the bye week. Not enough to pull, huh? Because I would say Seahawks and Packers look that better than the Cardinals. You just look at it as one of those games.
Yeah, it's tough. So he goes 2-1. How does he look in Green Bay and Seattle game? You say he looks bad in Arizona?
No, he's just average. He's average.
And he looks bad on the way into the bye. If he look, you know what? I'll say this. If he looks bad going into the bye, I feel like that made a change. I'll say that. If he looks bad going into the bye, so if Arizona win or loss, if he looks bad going into that bye week, I believe Kyle, a film guy, looks at the film. The tape doesn't lie. The eye in the sky doesn't lie. He watches the tape. If Jimmy looks piss poor, the average, I think he goes with the kid.
That quick. Hey, I'm ready to see him. I still haven't seen anything from Jimmy that's like, yeah, that's your guy. But
I haven't seen neither the Jimmy fuck up game yet. We haven't seen that yet. It's still early. It's not a big sample size. But we know when he turns it over in bunches. So it's bound to happen. We just haven't seen it yet.
It could be this Packer game. We're gonna see.
We'll see.
Or Seahawks, or the Cardinals. Chandler Jones in your face. So, but no, they're off to a good start. 2-0, no complaints. They won the game they were supposed to. And like I said, my biggest takeaways is that defense. I would say the pass rush and Kyle Shanahan have been really good. Now, I need to see more consistent play because they still gave up 32 points to the Lions last week. So let's dive in next to the 2-0 as well. Lost Oakland, Las Vegas Raiders. Man, where do I start? First things first, my biggest 3 takeaways for the Raiders being where they at 2-0 season against the Ravens and the Steelers. Two heavyweights in the AFC. One is Carr. Carr's playing some of the best football of his career. Two, Gruden, he's in his back. Dialing up, lineman after lineman falling, running back getting hurt. It doesn't matter. And then the last piece to me is the D line and their pass rush, and Gus Bradley and the effort and the discipline he has the defense playing. It's made a huge impact overall.
Solomon Thomas?
We're getting sacks, pressures every week. Max Crosby leads the league in pressures through 2 weeks. You see, we're getting turnovers.
Solomon Thomas had 2 sacks for you. I didn't even know y'all had him, Zay.
Oh yeah, we picked him up. These are the reason Clint Farrell ain't getting no playing time. He's doing really well, bouncing off an ACL injury. And the most impressive player on the Raiders defense to me, yes, Max Crosby. Give him his flowers. He's going crazy. You got Mullen, young corner playing really well. Jonathan Abram. Through 2 games, he looks like a quality starting NFL safety. Breaking up last week, Monday night, on a big drive. Broke up a pass over the middle, making sound tackles. Yes, he's going to be on a highlight reel for the rest of the season getting stiff arm by Najee Harris.
I know you seen that boy. Yeah. You throw that boy in like a rag, though.
It was. That was right. But Abram got his. He still had 2 tackles for a loss, was everywhere. He broke up a pass that game. No penalties through the first 2 games of the season. He's just playing under control. Really good football. I think he's been really sound across the middle for that Raider defense. But before I can get to you, D-Lane, the last piece I want to add is I'm loving that Ruggs and Carr on the same page. That throw was at one of the best throws of the weekend. And Ruggs led the Raiders in targets. He had a career high 5 catches, 113. And you're seeing why they drafted him. Last week, a big third down to send him to overtime. Who they go to? Ruggs, 40-yard catch. This week, 50-some-yard bomb to seal the game. So that you're seeing why the Raiders drafted Henry Ruggs. He's making an impact.
Was that touchdown out of the slot?
No, outside.
And I'm fine with that, but I still would like to see John moving around a little more. I told you I like to see him in the slot a little more.
He did. I mean, he had 2 catches from the slot last week. Sunday.
Yeah, all good. Not just John though. Derek Carr is in his bag right now. Zay. Hey, and I think I had you guys winning this game. I think I went on record last week, picked you guys over the Steelers. I haven't been high on the Steelers defense the last week. It was
crazy. I didn't even pick my own team.
Yeah, I don't think you even picked. Yeah, I know we talked about it. So I had, it was on IG Live. Yep. Check us out every Friday. IG Live, we make our picks for the upcoming week. But, Derek Carr, man, sensational game. Sensational first 2 weeks versus 2 contender defenses, 2 contender teams, and the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just orchestrating, dealing the ball left and right, getting Ruggs involved, Darren Waller, Renfro, the whole crew. John Gruden doing it with his main workhorse out, Josh Jacobs, still getting it done on the ground. And then, like you said, the defense showing up, man, making plays, stifling the run. With Pittsburgh, even though they don't have much of a run game right now, I seen some people, not a lot, I seen some on Twitter talking about Najee can't run, he can't play all, he ain't got the number 1 team and talent around him now. Hey, nobody can run through them holes that they're not delivering in Pittsburgh right now. They're not blocking shit. It's clear. Up front, it's a problem. They cannot block. Ben is even struggling to get the ball downfield because they're not protecting them like they were last year. To me, last year I thought they were protecting them pretty well, pass pro, but they still was a shitty team last year running the ball. So Pittsburgh definitely has question marks. If I'm a Steelers fan, I'll be a bit worried moving forward. But if I'm a Raider fan, playoffs might not be too far out of the realm of possibility, man. I can see you guys making the playoffs.
I saw you mention Ben. I think Ben's shot. I mean, he was missing throws with time. He's just the arm. I think with Tom Brady and even what Drew Brees did playing in 40s, most quarterbacks are done at 35. That's historically how it's been. Big Ben's 37. He looks like it.
What is that? What does each of those quarterbacks? What quarterbacks you just named? You said Tom Brady and who?
Drew Brees that played late into their 40s.
Drew Brees had the top 5 running back in the league on his team. Tom Brady, they can run the ball. Rojo and Leonard last year, both. Rojo almost had 1,000, and Leonard had like 500-600 yards. They can run the ball. But need a running game. Need play action quick. They ran the ball, they say 14 times for 39 yards. 2.8 on the ground.
So Big Ben's is still a playoff level quarterback. I'm
not saying I wouldn't even go that far. I feel like Big can still play and get the job done because they were talented enough, especially on the outside. They got to get young, get running back, and they still got a solid defense. They still got a top 10 defense. I won't say top 12, top 10 defense, I believe. You still get it done. I think the problem is the O-line. They can't run block and they're not giving him the same time that he had last year. People keep saying Ben was shot, but he threw for over 4,500 yards last year, 33 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. The man can play. You just got to protect him. And that was with no run game last year, Zach. That's what he did last year with no run game coming off a season ending injury the year before. I think Big can still play, but you have to help an older guy. He can't move like he used to, so of course he needs a run game. Brady got the run game.
I feel like I'm gonna go ahead and say this now and be a front runner on it. From watching that game, I feel like the Steelers are closer to being a team like the Broncos than they are the team that we traditionally talk about. And you mentioned it; they loaded everywhere except Big Ben. It's not the Big Ben he was, and he needs the O-line. But this is a salary cap league. You can't have everything. You can't have receivers, O-line, quarterback, running back. They have guys everywhere. TJ Watt, Bush. No, they do, right? I feel like, not to go off on a tangent, but I feel like there's 3 to 4 teams that have a little bit of everything except that franchise quarterback. The Broncos, the Redskins. Again, the Steelers, Big Ben now with the Steelers. And then I think, maybe I guess you throw the Giants in there, terrible coaching. They got a lot of talent.
So basically you just saying with the Steelers, being wrong time in his career, wrong place with this team.
I agree, yes. Like for me, this would be a sign that I would do right now. I would sign Cam Newton. Not to be my full-time starter. Cam Newton scored 12 touchdowns last year. He's a red zone machine. Get Cam in there. Let Big Ben run off.
Cam on the back. Everybody knows that. His orders to be. He can't do that.
All right, Cam just need to retire then because that's what he is right now. He's a red zone threat.
Yeah.
So no, anyway, I not to go on 10 on the Steelers, but Big Ben's the weak link right now. Then again, the Raiders played well. Get him on the ground. But again, he holds onto the ball a long time. He's always done that. That hasn't changed. It's just he's unathletic. So he's not the same Big Ben. The Raiders got another big test against Miami this coming week. But yeah, you can't get off to a better start than 2-0 against 2 AFC heavyweights. And my last point on the Raiders, big shout out to Max Crosby, not leading the league, 19 pressures. He didn't record a sack, but I think he had 6 QB hits on Big Ben, just disrupting everything. I think if he keeps it up, he might be someone to look for in a year for some awards. But he's definitely playing full potential right now. All right, let's dive into the next topic. Who is the top dog in the AFC after 2 weeks? We know, the Chiefs going into the season were clear cut. They battled out a game Sunday night against the Ravens. So who's top dog in the AFC, D-Lane?
Man, so looking at the standings, the only undefeated teams left in the AFC is your Raiders and your inter-division rivals, the Denver Broncos. Both 2 good teams that got off to a good start so far. The Broncos haven't really played anybody. The Raiders played 2 contenders and pulled it out in the fourth quarter in both of those games. So I'm really high on the Raiders. I've liked the Bills the last couple of years as well as a dark horse team. It seemed like they arrived last year, but they're starting out slow this year. I've liked Baltimore the last few years as well. But I'm going to rock with the Chiefs again, man. I think we still early in the season. They came back and won in week 1 versus a good team that we all believe can contend in the Cleveland Browns. And then week 2, they struggled a little bit, lost to Baltimore, but the offense was still humming. The only question marks for them is really the defensive side of the ball and if they can perform on the defensive side. But like we were saying pre-shows, I I still believe, like you told me, Kansas City has one of the hardest schedules for the season. They got one of the toughest schedules for the whole season. But I believe that fare out well for them. Excuse me. I believe that fare out well for them come playoff time because why? They have a brand new O line. All five guys are brand new, never protected Patrick Mahomes a day in their life. They looked okay the first two games so far, but they're going to get battle tested all through the season, which I think will help them when it comes playoff time. They should be humming and everything should be nice and crisp. Protection should be solid by the time the playoffs come around. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm still rocking with the Chiefs because of
Yeah,
the potency of the
I'm with
offense,
you on that.
Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
You know, I'm with you on that. It's a long season. It's a long season. This isn't college football. You don't go undefeated. The best team not necessarily always has the best record in the NFL. Because again, these are the best in the world. The Chiefs, I would just relax. The only question mark I have on the Chiefs is again their defense. But again, it's a long season, and your defense is going to come together. Again, they were missing Frank Clark last week. They just got Tyron back, so I think they'll develop. I will not say develop. Just get their groove, rhythm, sync as the season goes on. And outside of that, I think to me the question isn't when we truly look at it is who's going to stop the Chiefs, right? They've won the AFC three years in a row. So excuse me, 2 of the last 3 years. So the question. So with that being said, let me ask you this, D-Lane, do you think the Bills are that second place team or that second team that has a shot? Who has the best shot at knocking the Chiefs down from what you've seen early on this season?
Man, Zay, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna surprise you with one of the teams, but I kind of got three. I think it's three teams that got true
Yeah, give me a
action.
few.
Yeah, I got you. That can knock off the Chiefs. So I'm gonna tell you why, and they all are kind of similar with my reasons why. One is the Baltimore Ravens. They just knocked them down.
Yep.
2, the Cleveland Browns, and then 3, the Tennessee Titans. And I'm gonna tell you why. The Titans. I'm gonna tell you why. The Titans don't necessarily have the defense that can get it done like the Cleveland Browns. They got the defensive weapons that can get it done like the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens do. What do they do have though? A run game. What do you have to do when you have an elite quarterback on the opposite side? You have to keep the ball, time of possession. You have to keep him off the field and keep your offense on the field. They have, if not the best rushing attack in the league, because they got probably the best running back over the last 2-3 seasons in Derrick Henry. So I love the Titans. They got the play action game with Ryan Tannehill and whatnot, and Julio and AJ on the outside. I know you still have question marks with their play caller and Todd Downing or whatever his name is, but I still believe the talent is there and the weapons is there to knock the Chiefs off and keep Patrick Mahomes somewhat neutralized. Same reason for the Cleveland Browns. We've seen them already have an amazing Week 1 matchup with Kansas City, and the defense is only going to get better as the season goes on for Cleveland. They'll also be getting OBJ back in a few weeks, even though they just lost Jarvis. That's still an added punch with getting Odell back. So I like that team, and the same reasons we just seen with Baltimore. They can run the ball, control the clock, and play amazing defense, even with some guys in the secondary being backup guys that's playing right now. We've seen them just knock off the Chiefs. So those are my 3 teams I'm going to go with.
So I got 3 teams as well. And the Titans surprised me. And my philosophy is simple. To knock off the Chiefs, you need to have these 2 things, a coach and a quarterback, that are at least equal or better. Well, there's nothing better. You're not going to have a better quarterback. But what can you have close to? So my first team is, like you said, the Ravens. They beat them, right? They have a defense and they have a quarterback, MVP caliber quarterback that can get it done anyway, any type of way. Second team, the Bills. I believe Josh Allen is a quarterback that can compete with Pat. I believe Sean McDermott is a really good coach and they have a good staff with Daboll over there at the OC. And they have talent, right? And they have a pass rush. Same with the Ravens, right? They have a good defense. Then my last team.
Hold your thought on your last team. One of the main reasons why I didn't pick the Bills, because I was going to say the Bills. I like the Bills. I kind of want to see an AFC matchup between a championship showdown between Pat and Josh Allen. Only reason why I didn't pick the Bills, they don't have no run games. They can't control the clock. You just said it a minute ago. Best quarterback usually wins those type matchups. I don't think at the end of the day Josh Allen can outdo and outsling Patrick Mahomes. neutralizer or something that can offset that and help them would be a tight end blanket. Knox is coming on as of late, but having a nice tight end security blanket, which I still don't think the Bills have. But Knox,
But
like I said, Knox is coming on, and they don't have a solid, consistent run game. Josh Allen been
I,
throwing the ball 40, 50 times a week. That's not going to beat the Chiefs. Go ahead, Zach.
I think no, I got what you're saying, but I've seen the run game not be enough. I saw it with the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and we saw it last year. Um, uh, excuse me, with the Titans in the playoffs with the run game, they got knocked out in the first round against the Ravens. So I mean, a lot of these playoff teams, the Browns have a run game. They probably have the best, but again, to me, it starts with whoever has the ball last is going to win against the Chiefs. It's not you're not neutralizing going in with a 2-point lead with under 4 minutes left to me against the Chiefs if you're going to beat them. You're going to beat them either by what the Bucks did last year. We have a better complete team from top to bottom. We're going to dominate you, and we have the best quarterback of all time. Or it's going to be a situation where, like we saw with the Ravens, we have a quarterback and we just need the ball last to give us a shot, and with the defense, right? And so that's what I see. And this last team is going to shock everyone, right? I truly believe it. I believe it's a team that's going to get better and better as the season goes on. And I'm sad that they're in my division.
Don't say. Go ahead.
That's the Chargers. I believe a team that they have a pass rush. I believe a team's going to get better with their new coach as the season goes on. They have Justin Herbert, who I believe you want the ball in his hands last. And this year, I'm seeing a more developed quarterback. Last year was just letting it sling. This year, he's playing controlled football. Now, he lost a tough one to Dallas. Some weird penalties happened at the end. Again, no excuses. Early on, you're going to lose some games. They lost a close one. I believe that's a team that's going to heat up as the season goes on. So those are three teams to me that have any shot. Again, to me, I wouldn't bet on any of these teams.
I'm kind of shocked by your third pick because I'm not gonna lie, Zach. I got you guys finishing second in that division. I think you guys are a little better than the Broncos all around as a team, even though I think the Broncos got a better defense, and I think all around as a team you're a little better than the Chargers as well. I like the Chargers. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they're missing a piece on offense or defense, or just another year under Staley, the new coach. Maybe, or like you said, maybe they'll get better as the season goes on. But I'm not seeing that same consistent pass rush from Nick Bosa and the crew. I didn't see the consistent pressure on Dak Prescott throughout the game. It looked like Dak was in control, was able to do what
they
he
held
wanted
that
to
Dallas
do.
offense to, under 20 points.
I got you, but it was some missed calls on both sides. I still believe, and then like I said, we thought Herbert and crew would look a lot better. He threw some picks early in the season that was questionable, and we thought he would be able to put up more than 20 points. I thought he would be able to put more than 17 up against that Dallas defense. So, like I said, I'm gonna hold my reservations on the Chargers. I like them coming into the season. So far, if they're small sample size of 2 weeks, I haven't really liked exactly what I've seen from that team. I will actually take the Raiders over the Chargers. But go ahead, Zach.
No, I agree with you. I believe the AFC West is going to be a 3 playoff conference. Same with the NFC West. And I believe it's going to be.
So you got the Chargers over the Broncos going in?
Yes, the Broncos.
Okay.
The Broncos not going to be. They're not a. They look pretty now. Look who they played. I'm not. No. The Broncos to me are. If we're going to do like overreaction, to me that's the Broncos. Anyone that's watched them close in the division, like a lot of these, like talk to the Chiefs, Charger, Raider fans. They're like, no, they're the same team, same coach. Teddy's a little better than Drew Lock. Cool. That's cool. That's gonna win you every game.
Good defense right there.
You're right. They are a good defense. To me, they're a 7-win, 8-win team because you got this is 2021. You have to have good quarterback play to again in most divisions outside of the NFC East to make the playoffs. That right? You have to, right? Especially in the AFC. If the Broncos were in the NFC, they're a playoff team. NFC is fucking god awful outside of 3 teams. If this is the AFC, a team's going to be left out the playoffs this year and have double-digit wins. That's a fact. That's how tough the AFC is. All right, the NFC is, you can get by with anything. But in the AFC, you got to have a quarterback. Like, if we just go through the list of quarterbacks, right, if you remove Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, right, you're left with, you got Russ and Kyler in the NFC. That. Right. The rest of the good quarterbacks in the AFC. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Right.
I'm right.
So again, that's just my spill on the Broncos, right? If you got to have a quarterback in the AFC to make the playoffs. Like they have the worst quarterback in their own division by a long shot. All those, the Broncos would take any quarterback in that division today. right? So,
Facts.
but yeah, I mean, let's. That's my spiel on the Broncos. The AFC competitive as hell. A lot of teams in the NFC. Big dogs up top. Bucks, Packers, and a team we're about to talk about right now that I'm interested in seeing. What are the Saints, D-Lane?
Man, the Saints.
What are they? What's going
Man,
on?
out of week 1 and week 2, right?
Yeah.
I would actually say they're somewhere more in the middle. I want to go leaning more towards week 1 versus what we seen in week 2. What we seen in week 1, we seen them stomp and route a playoff contender team, not just a playoff team, a contender team in the Green Bay Packers. And week 2, we seen them. Excuse me, who they lose to in week 2? We seen them lose.
They lost 0-17 to the Panthers.
To the Panthers, exactly. And that's a division game, and that division usually they always have high scoring or good games in that division. So I'm actually surprised to see them get wiped out like that. But why? Because in week 2 they didn't have on defense Marcus Davenport and Lattimore and a few other key guys on that defense. But those first two I named, those aren't just rotational guys; those are star players for their defense. Davenport, edge rusher, and Lattimore, one of the top 3, top 5 best corners in the game. So they were definitely missing those two guys on defense this past week. So I'm gonna go a little more somewhere in the middle. What else are they also missing? Alvin Kamara in 2 games, 88 rushing yards. I'm gonna put some of that on Sean Payton, man. I'm not just gonna put it all on Alvin, all on and Jameis. Some people want to say Jameis looks like he fell back to his old ways in week 2, throwing 2 picks and no touchdowns. I can't honestly just say that because why? He doesn't have a true number 1 out there. They're missing Mike Thomas, and then throughout the Drew Brees and Sean Payton era of the Saints, I always could tell you their tight end. I can't tell you who their tight end is right now. So they're missing that security blanket at tight end as well. So of course Jameis was struggling. I'm surprised he had the week 1 numbers that he had, but that just goes to show you what's up with Green Bay's defense, but or question marks on Green Bay's defense. But yeah, I think they're somewhere more in the middle, closer to week 1 when healthy.
Yeah, I agree with you. When I really think about the Saints, to me, they don't have enough talent on offense. Even when Michael Thomas comes back, they don't. I think but I believe they know that, and I think this is more of a transition time, right? They're signing.
Well, you don't believe a healthy Saints team could still contend?
No,
in the NFC.
No, I believe a healthy Saints team. Okay, that's Michael Thomas, and I mean Marcus Lattimore is going to come back this week or next. So they're not missing a bunch of guys. They're missing two people. Michael Thomas comes back. To me, and Jameis Winston, we're seeing the progress. This man,
you just said 2. You didn't just say 2 role players or just star player names. You just said 2 superstar players at their position that changes the game for them.
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas is a record-setting receiver when healthy. I'm talking about when healthy. I said when healthy. He's a record-setting receiver, and then Marcus Lattimore is a top 3 man corner in the game.
He's not coming back he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. So him
6
coming
weeks,
back.
He's on IR.
Yeah, so he's not it might not be enough time. Him and Jameis have to make a rhythm. They have not played together. They have not worked out together. And your quarterback.
Jameis was on the roster last year though, and Drew got hurt a little bit last year, so I'm sure he threw some balls to him.
I just believe the Saints. I believe the Saints are in transition mode. They want to see what they have with Jameis, right? And I'm like, hey, I believe Jameis improved, but I don't think Jameis is going to be a top 12 quarterback, top 10 quarterback. And then
go ahead.
So that's why I believe the Saints are in transition. I understand. Sean Payne's an elite coach. You got to remember, they missed the playoffs when they had Drew still in his prime before. It's really hard to sustain.
When they had a bad defense. They had bad defense those years. I still believe
they have a bad offense. Now they don't have explosive offense.
So what I think is they don't have
0 points against 0.
I got you. What I will say is they don't have the overwhelming talent on offense as far as.
Yeah, let's remember when they beat the Packers, Jameis threw for under 200 yards. They had a good defense that put him in that position, and we're seeing the Packers may not even be that good, but we'll talk about that later. But again,
I got you. I got you. I just believe we honestly can't answer contender or pretender with the Saints until they're fully healthy because we need to see them fully healthy and with Jameis with a fully healthy squad operate. Because, like I said, I don't believe they have overwhelming talent when healthy on offense, but I believe they still have enough talent to get it done. I feel like a Mike Thomas and Alvin Kamara, two superstars at their position, is enough to get it done. And you have Callaway. I still like the boy Callaway, Marquez or Marquise Callaway, I believe his name is. I like him as in the slot as a wide receiver 2 or 3 next to Mike Thomas. So I believe they have enough. We just need to see when they're healthy, what can they do?
You're right. To me, healthy. I mean,
so I'm saying,
everyone hurt.
So basically, me saying,
everyone hurt.
me saying,
everyone got
no,
injuries.
I got you. I'm just saying, I'm saying, hold off on all they're in the rebuild or rebuilding stage until we see Jameis get a healthy team. And
when I say rebuild, I mean transition. When I say that's what I mean. I don't. They're not a rebuild to me. They would be trading their top guys. That's a rebuild. To me, they're in transition.
I just said when I hear rebuild, so I'll take transition. When I just hear rebuild, I'm thinking no longer in contention. I still believe they have a defense, a elite defense when healthy, and when you got your superstar back, that's when we can on the outside and Thomas. I think that's when we can fairly judge the offense and Jameis.
I guess so. I'm gonna hold off on that. I've seen enough, but we'll see in the season. We'll see who's right on it. I think the Saints are, a 7-9 win team.
What I will say before we move on to the wins troubles, what I will say before we leave this notion, Zay, I do like the Carolina Panthers. I like Matt Rule. I like what he did with the Carolina Panthers last year. Even with C-Mac being out and hurt in and out the lineup last year, he still kept them competitive and in most games, and they won some games. Now this year they're 2-0, and they also got one of the best D-lines that nobody talks about with Kwan Short and Burns up front.
You just answered my question right there. Check this out. So to me, the Saints are the third best team in their own division. I believe the Panthers are better. So you got Tampa, clear cut number 1, right? Then you have the Carolina, and then you have the Saints. So Carolina, look on their offense alone has more talent than the Saints. Their defense, they have a good front seven, right, and a young secondary with Joe Horn, the safety that was balling last year. I'm blanking on his starts with a C. But he's a baller, number 21.
I'll take a healthy Saints defense over a healthy.
No, but listen to me. So if you just look at the roster, complete roster, the Saints have the third best roster in their own division. So it's something to watch. We'll see. Yeah. So NFC, I mean, we already know top dogs, Tampa, and to me, it's just a mess for second. There's a whole bunch of all right teams in the NFC to me. I would say all right.
Seattle still got defense problems.
When I say all right,
go ahead.
No, I say no complete, right? San Francisco, quarterback, coach, and defense.
The next team that might be complete, Zay, is the Rams. The Rams, because they were top 5 on offense and defense last year. I like the Rams, and I know that's one of your Super Bowl picks. But you're right. You're not wrong when you say that about the NFC because Green Bay still has question marks on defense. Washington football team don't have a quarterback. San Francisco defense is up and down so far to start the season. The Saints question marks, health. Man, you can go down the line. Seattle still has question marks on the defense. They getting ran through. So you're right. Yeah, they can't finish the game.
No, you're right. No, it's spot on. It's either you have an elite quarterback and your defense is god awful, or you got an elite defense and you got an eye quarterback. And then the AFC, they over here like, yeah, we got a young quarterback. We moving. We got that. We got to go. It's like the AFC isn't. The sense of urgency in the AFC is completely different. You can just see it with teams. Like I feel like if the Niners. Let's just take the Niners for instance. I feel like in the AFC, Trey Lance is playing from week 1. We got to see what we got. There's so many quarterbacks in our division. We got to keep it going. What Kyler, Russ, Aaron, Tom. No one else you're scared of to play in the NFC. No one. Not a single. I mean, it's crazy. That's no disrespect to Jalen Hurts. That's no disrespect to Kirk Cousins. I mean, Matthew Stafford, right? The Rams. To me, I just haven't seen the Rams do it consistently.
Yeah.
Not when I say consistently, we're gonna see with Stafford in my Super Bowl pick, but I just mean win consistently throughout the playoffs. They're a playoff team, but we just gotta see it. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see how it all shapes. And who knows? Maybe we're in this January. The Tampa might not be all that, right? But we'll see. It's hard to see them not doing well this year. Last couple of topics before we head out. Speaking of the NFC, before we move off them, is it Justin Field time in Chicago?
Man, I said that week one after I seen the kid play in the preseason. You have an elite defense, a young stud at running back in Montgomery. And then the creative play caller, Matt Nagy. I know he's fighting or kind of on the hot seat for his job, but he did make the playoffs two of his first 3 seasons with Mitchell Trubisky. We did, when he first came to the Chicago Bears, we was talking about his creative offense. So I believe he could do some things with Justin Fields. I just honestly don't see why we don't play the kid right now. Andy Dalton's not a better option. Nick Foles is not a better option for this team. You got weapons with Allen Robinson and the crew. Put the young kid in, man. Let him learn on the fly.
I agree with you. To me, it's again NFC. I'm just call it NFC shit. No sense of urgency. Justin Fields should have played from week one. He's clearly a better quarterback. Andy Dalton. We saw what he did with the Cowboys last year with the team. Like this doesn't make any sense. Justin Fields' time is weird. It's kind of like the Justin Herbert situation where Tyrod he lost it unfortunately. And hey, injury is Tom Brady got to start because of injury, right? It's just part of the game. Now it's next man up, Justin, and I believe it. No, I don't want to see Andy Dalton the rest of the year. So I hope for everyone, for NFL fans, for the Bears fans, for everyone. No one wants to see Andy Dalton. We're excited to see Justin Fields. What is he? And D-Lane, in football, you get better by playing, not holding a clipboard. Especially at the quarterback position, seeing it real time, sense of pressure, real time speed that you got to be on the field. I'm happy to see it, and we'll end off real quick with our quarterbacks. Give me a grade for the Wentz trade right now for the Colts. On the Colts perspective, A through F. What grade is that trade looking for the Colts?
Sheesh. Man, probably like a C or a D. I mean, Carson. Yeah, Carson, man, he already got hurt twice before the season, right before the season started, and then they're in that game against the Rams, and he gets hurt again. So, man, yeah, they riding that Wentz train pretty tough right now. I know how it goes. Being an Eagles fan, he can get hurt any given week, man. So it's like his whole body is made of Steph Curry's old ankles, man, because he gets hurt every week. Looks like a win for my Eagles, though. That's what I can say. Getting them off, getting that large contract off us. And I think this is the last year we got to pay on this contract, and then the rest is the Colts. But yeah, so it's a win for my Eagles and definitely an L for the Colts. It's looking like so far.
Jared Goff and Wentz just getting money to get it. Whew, they rich though, generational.
In fact, I'll say Jared Goff in the worst situation though, just talent wise. I know he pissed off being in Detroit.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, he's been in LA for 5 years, so it wasn't too bad. Got paid, no sympathy. Go to enjoy, get your little boat, go out to Lake Michigan or something. I don't know. It's not the same as the beach out in LA. But if I was gonna give it a grade, I'm actually gonna give it a D. Because to me, you could have, for what you're getting out of him right now, you could have got from you could have signed a Ryan Fitzpatrick for what you're getting.
Shit, Cam, maybe. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Cam might not be bad for them. The Colts, they got a run game, they got weapons. Ty, man, Cam might not be a bad fit with the Colts.
But now it's just such a money thing that he's eating up so much money for them. Think about it. You could have signed a cheaper option and even created a better team. I think you would have got more out of a Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now he's hurt, but you could have got more out of him. We gave
Cam to the Colts. The Colts make the playoffs.
To me, it depends how you use him. To me, Cam is the ultimate red zone threat right now. He had 12 touchdowns in the red zone last year, 12 rushing touchdowns. So to me, I would use him. Again, he has to be down to do this. But to me, I don't need my full-time quarterback. I need you to come in and be dangerous in the red zone. He's my red zone weapon.
I keep telling you, can't do that. What do you mean you can't have him?
He can't throw his arm shot. His arm shot.
He looked good. You're saying that, but he looked good throwing the ball last year. He threw for 400 yards in week 2 before he got COVID. When he got COVID for the rest of the season, he didn't look the same.
Bro,
Cam looked good last year, healthy before he got hurt. Before he got injured.
I can't. that's the thing. I can't. He's always hurt. He's been always hurt the last 4 years, and he's in his.
He
30s.
wasn't hurt last year. Last year he got COVID.
Okay, he threw for 8 touchdowns and 12 interceptions.
And like I said, he was never the same playing or throwing wise after he got COVID. The first 2 weeks, the week 2 he threw for 4 something against the Seattle Seahawks.
If I'm the Colts, Cam, this is my offer. If not, go retire. Next.
If I'm the Colts, I'll give him a shot at the starting job.
No, he can't throw.
He's better than the guy. He's better than the backup option.
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
But he's cheaper. The backup option is cheaper. Way cheaper.
It would be cheaper. The Patriots had him on a vet minimum.
Bro, that's 3 other roster spots for a rookie minimum under 4-year guy. That's the thing, bro. We can't just say, oh, it's $2 million. Well, if you got $5 million in cap space, I think the Colts don't have a lot. That eats up like three players on the $650.
Oh no. If I'm the Colts,
to me, there's more options out there too. If I'm truly gonna get another quarterback, to me, there's other options. Like again, they're talking Nick Foles. That's a cheaper option.
I think Cam fits the offense. I think you could create a real nice run attack with him, Jonathan Taylor, Hines, and then you got the play action game. You still got Ty. They hit him over the top. I like Cam with the Colts.
Cam
still got good defense.
You ain't hit nothing over the top.
Man. So I disrespect my man Cam like that. Zay.
I'm not. I mean, the man's thrown over 60%.
Time we seen him healthy.
The man's thrown over 60% completion one time in his career. So I mean, I'm just saying what he is.
Like I said, last time we seen him healthy last year, he threw for 400-some yards, and the last time we seen him fully healthy in Carolina, he was averaging over 65% completion percentage and looking like a baller throwing the ball with North Turner.
D-Lane, I can't have you say that on
he wasn't looking good throwing the ball with North Turner right before he got hurt.
Bro.
He was throwing darts. What is you talking about? Bro, let me pull it up. Is that you really want to go here? You doing Cam so out of pocket.
Bringing up 2018.
I'm bringing up the last time he was healthy, and I'm bringing up that was 3 seasons ago, and then last year he caught COVID.
He doesn't look the same.
Like the man he's hurt. He's been hurt. We haven't seen him healthy.
Bro, even a healthy Cam, it's not crazy.
Let me see. He was completing 67% of his passes and threw for 3,000 yards with North Turner before he got hurt. What are you talking about?
That's 4 years ago.
Last year for New England, and that's 2018. And then 2019 or 2020 with the New England Patriots with no preseason, no training camp because of COVID. He still completed 65% of his passes. And like I said, had a 400-yard passing game pre-COVID.
And then, bro, Denver 2,600 yards in 15 games. That was the fewest yards thrown by a quarterback in 20 years.
I had COVID. The man had everlasting effects. He had some everlasting effects due to COVID.
Lamar had COVID last year too
because of COVID.
And he won a playoff game.
Right, and we already, me and you had a long hour discussion about this. We already agreed COVID affects everybody differently. That's why it's so scary.
That's true. All right, that's true. My thing is, my Cam stock is sold. The Patriots aren't getting rid of a weapon for $1.2 million if it's if he can play still. Carolina was not giving him, teams would sign him. You don't think the Colts would go sign him? They sat down and watched the preseason like, man, he's gonna help him right away. If that could truly happen, we'd be done right now. Because he's at the most premium position. It's over. It's okay though. Like Cam Newton, Heisman Trophy winner, number 1 overall pick, MVP, went to the Super Bowl, a dual threat quarterback. I'm happy. That's a great career.
Nah, you for sure. He ain't got nothing to complain about. He ain't got nothing. Yeah, if anything, he might want to complain.
Like no, Big Ben.
Sure. If anything, he want to complain about. Yeah, go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
I'm saying we're talking bad about Big Ben. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champ. Been one franchise 15 plus years, and it's over for him. It's over. Some people's clock just ends faster. Cam unfortunately had more injury. Remember,
But with Ben
was shot at 34. Think about Vic had 2 years not in the league, and he shot at 34 because of the amount of hits he took.
Did you mention Ben too, or you only said Vic?
No, I said Ben as well. Like Ben, it's over.
Right now. Okay. No, what I'm saying with
Drew Brees, he was shot.
What I'm saying, but with the difference between Ben and Drew and Cam once with Drew and Ben or had as far as going out on their own terms. Cam haven't had a chance to go out on his own terms. It looks like he's getting pushed out the back door.
And you know why? When you got a piece of jewelry, you get that. When you don't, you gotta go. Look at Phillip. You gotta go, Phillip. Gotta go. Right? Hey, shit. Coach said, "Hey, Payne, you gotta go, bro. It's over." And you got a Super Bowl, the most success in our franchise history. So it's like when we talk about respect, and Tom's on a new team. It was no farewell on his last game. His last game was over.
He was a free agent, left on his own terms. Like,
It sounded like still a team, but hold on. But that's the thing. He was wanted. He went to Tampa. Like I'm saying, he went to a team. Like Cam, he went to the Patriots, right? Hey, didn't work out. Next team. I'm just trying to say.
Cam gets picked, do you think Cam gets picked up this season? Yes or no?
If he can accept a dual threat backup role, yes. No. If he can't, if he needs to be full-time starter, that's only if it's just like, a team loses like 3 quarterbacks.
Got you.
But end it off real quick. Who's in the MVP race after 2 weeks?
For me, leading the MVP race after 2 weeks of the season, small sample size, but I'm going with Derek Carr, man. 2 spectacular performances, especially in the fourth quarter. Game-winning drive in week 1 and a game-ending drive in week 2 against the Steelers, both playoff contender teams, championship contender teams, especially with Baltimore. I like the way he's delivered so far, averaging like 400 yards passing, looks in total control of the offense. Him and John Gruden both look like they're in their bags right now, so I'm rolling with Derek Carr, DC.
I like that, man. DC is actually to me in second right now. I got Kyler 1 just because he has 8 touchdowns after 2 weeks. Like, that's insane. And to me, he's like similar to Carr. He's the lifeblood of his team, right? They're gonna go as far as Kyler goes. Same with Carr. The only difference to me between Kyler and Carr is Carr has played a really good. He played really good 4 quarters yesterday and played a really good 3 out of 4 quarters in week 1. We both saw that first quarter was sloppy by Carr, and so that's why I got Kyler as the nod for my MVP plus those 8 touchdowns. But it's gonna be exciting. I think it's a 3-headed race right now. Maybe 4. I'm gonna throw old man Tom Brady in there with 5 touchdown passes last week. He might put up some crazy numbers with the record. But Tom, Carr, Russ, Kyler, I think those are 4 quarterbacks in the mix. And we might be talking about Pat later in the year, but the offense gotta get more of a flow first so he can start pinning up those big numbers. Again, hard schedule, playing tough teams the last couple of weeks.
Gotcha.
Before we head out of here, don't forget every Friday we got our game picks, what to put your money on, some of our locks of the week. I apologize. The Seahawks, that was my lock of the week. They looked like they was handling business, 24-9.5, and then, yep, that was the game. So I got y'all this week. D-Lane, anything before we head out?
Nah, we're good, man.
All right, y'all. Hey, hope y'all team gets a win this week. Let's get it.
We play for keeps, Cuddy. You ain't heard about the Huddle fire with no with D-Lane. We tryna get it off the muscle. Walters caught the pick and ran it back without a tussle. Blow the whistle, coach, it's time to get back to the huddle.